What's up, family? This is Sensei from RodFit Nation. Welcome to the channel where we talk about miles, money, and muscle. Today, I want to talk about a couple of topics. But first, before we start talking about anything serious, let's talk about a motorcycle. Yo, I have not ridden my motorcycle in over 2 months, okay? Over 2 months. Why? Because I've been doing a whole lot of things to my bike. And the paint work, I'm not doing anything extravagant on the paint work, but my painter is taking too damn long, which I'm going to be patient because whatever reason the universe is saying, hey, Sensei, you don't need to be in your motorcycle right now, I'm going to listen. I'm not going to rush it, right? I'm not going to be in a hurry. So I'm taking my time and just allowing nature to take its course. Hurry up, Sean. Get my bike ready so I can take it out to Justin and get the seats done. Customization of your motorcycle, it's fun, but you have to recognize the fact that things are going to happen. Not the way you expect it to happen, but it will happen, right? So whether it's going to be good or bad and different, it doesn't matter. You got to be patient with your bike. You got to be patient with the people. Now, I got a brother of mine in my club who, the painter, had his bike for over a year, his bike parts. That is unacceptable. That is, yeah, let's just leave it at that. No good. My painter, not that bad. It's just that I want my bike back, all right? So that's that. If you're wondering why I'm not riding, that's why I'm not riding. But I'm fine. I'm good. I had a great time with my club, Iron Bread. We had a club ride out to Alabama. It was fantastic. I was able to drive my truck and be the trail guy. Yeah, the trail guy. You know what that is? I know they have different names. I basically put the trailer on the back of my truck and drove behind the club in case anything happens to a bike. Bike can't start. Bike ran out of oil, blah, 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 ran out of gas, whatever it is, a flat tire. I will be there so they can put the bike on the trailer and we can still keep on going about our merry way. So it was great. I was able to get involved with the club. Yo, Iron Bread, if you're watching this, if you're a part of Iron Bread, big respects to you guys. I also had a comment from somebody who confused Iron Bread with Iron Breed. And he was asking me if we're a Leo club, which is law enforcement club, and we're not. Iron Bread and Iron Breed are two different, completely different segments of people, all right? So in case you're wondering, I am Iron Bread, not Iron Breed, different clubs, all right? So now, let's move on. We got that out of the way. October 22nd, don't forget, we are having our football game, the charity football game. Let me get that flyer real quick. I'm so happy to have a flyer right here. I'm not even going to cut this video because we're keeping it raw and simple. October 22nd, Iron Bread Charity Flag Football Tournament is going to be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at CCPS4 Stadium, 4940 Steel Road, Ellenwood, Georgia. Zip code is 30294. I would love for you guys to all come, support what we're doing, support people who are going through hard times. If you have clothing that you no longer want, don't throw it away. Bring it to a clothing drive. Bring your club, come out, support. Whatever your club you're riding with, just come on out. Bring your family. If you don't want to come with the club, bring the family, bring your boys, bring the girls, whatever you got. I'm just telling y'all, if you are in the area, just come through. October 22nd, 2023. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Once again, the address is, let me just make sure I'm saying it right, 4940 Steel Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294. All right? Now we can move on. Okay, so I want to talk about 8 topics that men don't talk about, but we should talk about. It's 8 topics. There's always more, but this is the one that I'm choosing. The first one is fear. You know, as men, everything I'm saying is going to be based around macho, being macho, alpha, right? Alpha. Fear. Men fear things. Men are afraid of things, but we have to put on this camouflage and pretend like we're not afraid of things. You ask a man, yo, what are you afraid of? Afraid? I ain't afraid of nothing, dogs. Afraid? But if you see a rat run across the room, that dude is jumping on top of the freaking bed, screaming like a banshee, right? We are supposed to talk about the fear stuff. We should, but we don't, because society is not expecting us to talk about the things that we fear, right? Me, if you ask me to bungee jump, you ain't gonna get me to bungee jump. Now, I jumped out of an airplane. I did that. you ain't getting me to bungee jump because I'm scared of that damn rubber. That band, that thing is crazy. Okay, I don't want that thing popping on me, nothing. Rats, I am afraid of rats. I'm fearful of rats. I'm gonna give you guys my real talk with some of this stuff, man. Actually, the whole thing, because I have no choice but to, because I have no need to hide anything. Fear is fear. It's factual, okay? For me, if you're somebody who's going through fear, I'm not saying to let the fear lead you, but what I'm saying is that you don't need to act brave and tough and bad. Be yourself, man. If you're afraid of roller coasters, just say, yo, I'm afraid of roller coasters. Look at B.A. Baracus in the A-Team, if you're old enough to remember the A-Team. B.A. Baracus was a big bad dog. I mean, Mr. T, right? I pity the fool. Yo, he was afraid of flying. Afraid of flying. And they had to drug him in order to fly from one place to the next to get the mission accomplished. So fear is something that we should always discuss. The next one is pain. Pain to me is really, it's scary, right? Because you have men who are going through pain. And I'm not talking about just physical pain. I'm also talking about that as well. But you got men who's going through pain, suffering inside, and they don't have anybody to talk to. Even if that man is going to see a therapist, it is not the same as being able to talk to your brothers. It is not the same as being able to sit down with your uncle or your best friend that you grew up with or your cousin, okay? It's not the same as going into your religious place of worship and being able to express certain things. No, having a therapist is great. It's good, okay, to a point. But to have people around you that you could express your pain and what you feel, it's freeing to the spirit. It's freeing to the mind. Like for me, my pain every single day is my son. I mean, I mentioned this before in videos. My son being incarcerated, that is my pain. My first son. I mean, yo, when he comes out of jail, it's going to be almost like me experiencing the rebirth of my son again for the first time. Every day goes by. It's not just him being in jail. It's the fact that of our relationship that we had. It's the poisoning of his mind from his mom, not my wife now, but his mother. It's the inability for him to look at me as a father and not as a bank account. So that stuff, it pains me to see that, right? And of course, there are other things that pains me in my life, but I'm not going to share everything on this video. I'm just showing you like, yo, being able to express that, I'm expressing this to, I don't know how many of you is watching this video, and I don't really care because I'm able to speak my heart as a man. That's what makes me a man. I'm not no alpha. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a man. I don't even know why we put titles to alpha. I'm an alpha man. Look at me. I'm big, bad, and I'm rough. Nah, man, get the heck out of here, man. Every man, when backed into a corner, will have the right and the opportunity to defend himself and his family. It doesn't matter how soft or how punkish a man might be. All right? A squirrel, as innocent as a squirrel is, and they don't bother you, you try to back a squirrel in the corner, that squirrel is going to rip your face off. Like that movie, Face Off, okay? It's going to rip your face off. So understanding pain can lead to depression, pain can lead to stress, pain can lead to anxiety, and when you don't have a place to exert that pain, it doesn't feel good. This is why I express to y'all when I say get those miles, money, and muscle, the muscle part, you go and let the pain out in the gym. Grab some weights and pump that iron. Get that body up. Get the energy up. Get your strength up. Train your body as you train your spirit, because that pain is not going to go nowhere until you start to try to attack it and let it become a part of you where you accept the pain, but you know how to handle the pain. When you don't know how to handle the pain begins to handle you. The next one on my list is failures. Yo, failure. We fail every day. We fail every single day, but we live in a society that is obsessed with success. We are success obsessed driven, right? Every time you look in social media, you see somebody posting a Lamborghini, a big car, even a motorcycle. You could have a road glide and somebody might have a road glide just like you, but they done put 50 grand in the road glide and you riding a regular FLTRX road glide, right? Failures. Failing to me is the passage to success. I failed a lot of times. In my business, I have failed more times than I can count, but I do not give up. And you have to know when to hang it up and when to keep it going. But failure is a rite of passage as men. You have to accept your failure and be able to express your failures. You have to be able to look at yourself and say, you know what? I'm not a failure, but I'm learning from what did not succeed. Okay, if I didn't succeed in that, I'm not going to let that drive me. I'm not going to let that become my depression. I'm not going to let that hold me back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try my best to do more. When I look back at some of my videos that I shot with me learning about my road glide, there were little errors that I made, right? And some of you are very quick to address those errors. And I'm thankful that you are respectful to say, yo, sensei, you shouldn't put Loctite on that bolt because that bolt is polyurethane or whatever the heck the term is. Hey, man, next time you do that, make sure you do that, right? I learned from those failures, okay? Let's go bigger. My book, when my book came out, where's my book? See, I'm reaching for stuff over here, man. When my book came out, Donovan Green Fitness, right? This here. Donovan Green, No Excuses Fitness. This is my book, right? If you don't have my book, go and buy my book and support your boy. But when this book came out, I was able to get, and I'm sharing this with y'all, $500,000, okay? First-time author, black man, big respects to Hachette Book Publishing. And I went through a whole lot of ups and downs with this book, but I finally got $500,000. Now, that money didn't go just to my pocket. It went to my agent's pocket and my co-writer pocket because, he helped me a lot with the editing. So he gained some money, right? But I failed at managing the money. So where's the money at now? The money is gone. At that time, I didn't know nothing about money. So that's my failure there. Now, is it failure in the point to where I'm saying, damn it? No, it's failure to the point to now where I know how to handle my money. So that's what I'm saying. We learn from those failures. So I'm going to go backwards. When we have that fear, right? That fear comes from failing. It comes from what we failed at. It creates fear. Then that fear now creates the pain. All of these things are going to lack into, is going to all connect with each other. The next one on my list, number 4, is weaknesses. Yo, speak your weaknesses. Every superhero has a weakness. Superman has more than one weakness. He has multiple kryptonites, okay? The dude has magic. He cannot handle magic. If you got magic, like Shazam will beat Superman's butt. Wonder Woman will trap him with that lasso. He can't go nowhere, okay? Anybody that got magic, Superman can't handle. The Hulk, as strong as the Hulk is, his fear is love, calmness. If he gets calm, he turns back to this puny dude. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has a weakness, no matter how powerful that individual is. You can name any hero, and the reason why they give heroes these weaknesses because they have to be able to be stopped. So when you have weaknesses in your life, yo, look at it and say, okay, that's my weakness. Hang around the people who has the opposite side, who's strong in that area, that they can help you, right? I got a business. Hey, listen, I'm good at videos. I'm good at speaking, but I need my publicists. I need my PR people to get me TV shows, to get me in front of audiences. I want to get back in front of stages. I used to speak in front of thousands of people at a time. I want to get back into that. How am I going to do that by myself? That is not my forte. My forte is to be in the front line, in front of the people and the cameras and the lights and all that. My weaknesses is going to be somebody else's strength. That's how you develop the strength with each other. So when you have weaknesses, don't look at that as you're no good or you're no valued. No, you got value. Just focus on your strengths. And if you want to get stronger in your weaknesses, then hang around the people, once again, who is strong in that area and learn from that person. If you know you got a motorcycle, for example, right? And you know you don't know how to ride your bike properly. And let's say you ride with a group of people. Instead of being fearful and not showing up to events and not, listen, tell everybody, yo, man, I got a fear of riding. I just, my weakness. I don't really feel comfortable riding my bike. I need help. Yo, I need help. Some of the guys might laugh at you and play around at the end of the day, but they will help you. If they're not helping you, you're around the wrong people. You see what I'm saying? The next one is the women in our lives. Why is it that in this day and age, men tend to disrespect women? I understand how the internet is, and women are actually disrespecting themselves. And every time I go on Instagram, I see an ass being shaken, titties being popped out, and everything is sexual, legs wide open, all that. Some of y'all might like it, but most women don't understand. Most of us don't like that. As a matter of fact, the women like that, we're never gonna bring those women home to our families, right? We're never gonna say that's the woman I want to marry, right? Never. But it doesn't mean that we have to treat the women in our lives like crap. It doesn't mean that, right? So we don't talk about the women in our lives. We don't talk about the power and the strength that they give us. When we're going through divorces and stuff like that, that's when we give the energy to it. We speak about the negativity. But speaking about the women in your lives, your mom, your aunt, your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, right? Being able to look at a woman and respecting a woman doesn't matter what they say, what they do. Well, in some cases it does, because if a woman is trying to take your life, hey, you got to take her life. I ain't let no woman kill me. But other than that brutal, demonic statement I just made, you got to respect women. Because I tell my son all the time that, your sister, right? You get mad at her, you get angry, you yell, you do all this. But here's the deal. Use her as a gymnasium. A gymnasium or a dojo is where you go to learn. Learn from her, because she's preparing you for the world. If you don't take the time to check your energy and check your attitude, and if you be disrespectful, next thing you know, you're going to start calling women the B words, and you're going to start to do certain things to women, and you're going to be in jail. A lot of men are in jail because of a female. It's driven by a woman. But speaking about the women in your lives and uplifting them, that's something that we don't talk about enough of. And then the reason why we don't do that too, sometimes you start talking about your women, depending on who you're talking to, now you're putting ideas into this man, another man's mind, and now he's going after your girl. I mean, it's disgusting. Next one is sadness. Sadness is something that we experience all the time, even when you're not even conscious that you're sad. A lot of times we hold on to things that happened to us in our past, the traumatic experiences that took place in our lives. The things that we said to ourselves, like, yo, I'm never going to let that happen again. But it still stayed glued into your mind and your prefrontal cortex and the all parts of your brain, okay? It's like you're holding it into this file cabinet. And when something triggers it, it comes back out. The sadness hits back again. Okay, you're not happy about your bank account. You're not happy about your job. You're not happy about the car you're driving. You're sad about the relationship you're in. You're sad about your kids. You're sad about the way you look. You're sad about the fact you can't do what other people are doing. Sadness comes in so many different places, right? You're sad because maybe you got diagnosed with something that cannot be changed, and you wish you could have done better, and blah blah blah. We live in the past too much, and when you focus on the sadness, it becomes embedded in you like a genome. It's like a code. It's encoded into your biological makeup. So if you can't express sadness, man, it's gonna come off as aggravation. It's gonna come off as anger. You're not gonna be able to control your anger, and you're gonna lash out on others around you. And then you want to apologize. Nah, bro. All you gotta do is speak and express what you do, where you are. If somebody don't like it, then they don't like it. But when you express this, and you take your brothers and your sisters and you pull them together and you explain to them what's going on, you would be surprised as to how somebody in that group can possibly have a solution that could help you. If you're sad about, let's say, your weight, you're not happy about your weight, then somebody in your group might have a secret they can tell you. You would be surprised. Maybe you don't have enough money to pay a bill. Somebody in your group might be willing to give you or loan you some money to solve your problem. And that's what I mean when I say express it. Here's another part, two more, is joy. Man, I'm a joyful guy, man. I like to laugh. I like to joke. As a matter of fact, in my club, when I was prospecting for my club, out of all the men on my line, it was 5 of us, nobody got joked on more than me. Man, they joked the hell on me all the time. They was cracking up on my shoes, cracking up on my low socks, my ashy ass ankles. They was cracking up on anything they can crack up on. They would crack up on it. But keep in mind, they knew that I could handle it. I don't think they would have even cared, but they knew I could handle it. And I laughed right along with them. Why? Because it was funny as heck. I'm a joyful guy. I prefer to be joyful than going out there and being evil, because I know how to be evil. I promise you. And you watching this video, you know how to be evil. We all know how to be evil. Evil is easy. It is not hard to be evil and demonic and do crazy things, okay? If I want to go out there and just commit crimes all day, I could do it. But it's not in my spirit to do it. So I get caught really quick. So I prefer to just be joyful, laughing and joking and smiling and giving some humor, because you know what? As men, we are trained to not do that. We are trained to be serious. We're trained to be like, aggressive. We're trained to be, especially when you live in the hood, right? You live in the hood, you can't walk. Man, listen, when I lived in the hood, cats who knew me in the hood, they knew I was still walking around smiling. On the streets, I don't smile, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you see me in person, you might see me looking a little serious. That's because I don't trust people on the streets. And I'm always checking my six. I'm always looking around and seeing who's who. I'm always standing my back against the wall. I sit in a restaurant with my back facing against the wall, not the door. I'm always doing stuff like that. And I teach my children how to do the same as well. Because you can't trust people in this day and age. It does not mean I'm not funny. It does not mean I'm not happy. So when people talk to me finally, they say, wow, you got a lot of joy in you. Now, my joy comes from gratitude. And every day, I'm grateful for something. You see what I'm saying? The last one is the men in your lives. I mentioned the women in our lives, but the men in our lives. 9 times out of 10, we want to call a man in our life and express ourselves to that individual, hoping that that individual can give you some insight, enlighten you in certain things. But we don't. We sit back and we wait for others to call. And we wait and wait and wait. Nobody's calling nobody. You ain't calling them. They're not calling you, which leads to hatred, which leads to dysfunction, which leads to separation. I called one of my brothers from my club, right? And he said, yo, man, it's good to hear from you because I'm not really hearing from nobody else. In my brain, I'm like, bro, but you ain't calling nobody else, right? And that's just not my club. I mean, this is what I've gone through in my life where I wasn't calling nobody else, right? So the men in my life, I make sure to uplift the men in my life. I don't care if you black, if you white. My man Steve is white as white can be. Okay, Jewish guy, rich Jewish guy. That's my brother. Okay, I will fly, ride, jump, run, skip to get my butt down to California, in San Diego, in La Jolla. If anybody try to do something to my man, I'm telling you, I got his back. My man Young Cuz, Mexico, up top. That's my brothers. My man George. You know, these are men who I hold up very high in my life. It's going to be very difficult for them to get me out of their life. Even if they do certain things, man, I'm willing to sit down and forgive, because that's another thing that we don't do is forgive. And that's going to be my bonus one. We don't forgive. We hold on and hold on and hold on and hold on. And before you know it, you're going deeper into the abyss. All right? So let me go back through these words. Do not allow fear to stop you from expressing your pain. I'm going through each words. Because from the pain erupts and creates failures. And when those failures begin to happen, then you start to accept the weaknesses. That's number 4. Listen to the words. When you accept these weaknesses, then you begin to treat the woman in your life as second to nothing. All right? When you treat the woman in your life as second to nothing, then that creates sadness, not only in your life, but in the woman's life, the children's life, everybody's life around you, which begins to remove the joy. And when that joy is gone, then the men in your life is no longer there to accept you as a brother, because you are using this to lash out. And then when all that happens, you're unwilling to forgive. You see what I just did right there? I just took every single, come on, man, you know that was dope. You know that was better than a bar from Busta Rhymes, man. You know that was sick. I just took those words in that board and I made it make sense. Sometimes I make sense. You see what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, love yourself. Free your mind. Encourage yourself every day to be better, because the compound effect can go a long way. When you compound these things over time and you begin to express who you are, I promise you it's going to go a long way. I'm going to give you something. So for me, my weakness, one of my weaknesses was pornography. Man, so my wife is attractive. I love her to death. But sometimes I'm like, man, I don't think a part of me wants to be just like with just one woman, man. And this is going to be real for y'all. Man, I want to go out there and I want to bang out some white girls. I want to bang out an Asian girl. I want to bang out a freaking Russian girl. You know, a girl deep in the jungles of Africa while she's swinging across the vine, right? But then I was like, yo, I don't want to step out of my wife. I don't want to do that. So I prefer to go and just whack off on watching porno, right? That became one of my weaknesses. That became one of my obsessions. And before you knew it, man, I was just doing that. But then I had to check myself. You see what I mean when I'm telling y'all I speak real? There's nothing off the table for Sensei. I promise you, I'm not going to be here faking nothing to y'all. All right? And I had to check myself. So I started allowing the flesh to be my leader. And that's not good. So what I'm telling y'all, own your weaknesses, own everything, and then live up to it. And then make it better. Make yourself stronger. Make yourself more accepting of who you are. All right? So that's it for me. Don't forget, I'll see y'all October 22nd. And by the way, who's going to Oktoberfest in Florida? Because I'm gonna go down there on the 19th, come back on the 21st to be there for the club football charity thing on the 22nd. All right. So let's get these miles, let's get this money, let's get this muscle, and please leave those comments. When I post these videos, I need y'all to help me out. These videos need to grow. Riding a motorcycle, you want to watch somebody riding bikes all the time, go check out my man GQ. Go and check out my man Kelly B. Gliding. You want to check out couples riding, go up the Two Up Journey Junkies. You want to watch somebody in the garage talking about like the new CVO and the motorcycle riding and stuff like that, go and check out Riding and Wrenching. You want to learn how to ride your motorcycle slow pace, go and check out my man Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, okay? Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Check him out. I mean, there's so many people out there doing the motorcycle thing. My motorcycle's not behind me right now. It's been gone for a while. However, you want to learn a bunch of different things and not just all of that. I do all of that plus more, right? So we are a unit. This whole entire YouTube family is a unit. So it's imperative that you keep us alive by consistently liking and sharing and commenting on these videos, because the algorithms, it's all messed up right now. Ain't nobody getting their video seen. And when I post videos like this, I'm getting like 300-400 views. Are you kidding me? This should have at least 1 million views, at least 1 million, okay? But because I'm not using controversial titles, nobody clicks on it. It's something to say about you watching the video. Big respect for watching it to the very end. I'm out. Cheers.